The biggest misconception about guitar mastery is where to start. As in, where do you begin the journey to guitar mastery? Well, guess what? By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly where to begin that journey, and you're gonna know exactly what steps to take along that journey to get to the final destination. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Blake Hawley, okay? I'm the founder of Systems for Creation. I help intermediate and advanced guitarists achieve mastery, okay? And we're gonna explain exactly what mastery is in this video by simply asking the question, what does every guitar master have in common? What does Eddie Van Halen have in common with Joe Pass? What does George Benson have in common with Tim Henson? What does Dimebag Darrell have in common with Pat Metheny? What does Wayne Krantz have in common with Django Reinhardt? Tosin Abasi, Kurt Rosenwinkel. It's not technique. Universes of varying technique among all of those masters. It's not theory. Some of those guys literally don't know the first thing about theory. Now, you probably think I'm going to tell you it's their ears, but that would be very disappointing because you've already heard that before and that information has not helped you in any way. So listen extremely closely to what I'm about to tell you, because what I'm about to say is very likely the most important piece of information you have ever heard in your journey as a guitarist. The one thing that every guitar master has in common is the ability to outline chord changes. The ability to imply different harmonies at different times and have control over doing that. So to completely understand this, we're gonna go to some examples, okay? We're gonna listen to Eddie Van Halen play changes, and then we're gonna listen to Joe Pass play changes, okay? First, Eddie Van Halen.
Can't you be satisfied? One time. Stop me when I'm passing by. I'm the ice cream man. Stop me when I'm passing by.
Gotta save some in the tank. Oh my God. Oh my God. Imagine hearing that in 1978. Pandemonium, dude. What? Oh, I wasn't even prepared. I didn't even consider that would just completely mess my life up. I just remember listening to this track back in the day. I had this vinyl. I always remember that solo. Oh my good golly. So why did I use that example? Well, because he's playing changes. He's playing 12-bar blues changes. He's playing substitutions. He's playing superimpositions. He's playing layers of changes in that relentless rock style. And if you think about Eddie Van Halen from the get-go, that's what he's always doing. Think about Eruption. What is Eruption? He's implying different harmonic changes. He's playing chord changes, like classical triad voice leading chord changes at that one part, you know the one I'm talking about. But for the most part, all of his language is a result of implying different harmonies. Right? That's like he was doing that from the get-go on Eruption. All right. Let's make the big comparison. Let's listen to Joe Pass play a blues. What did Joe Pass and Eddie Van Halen have in common? Well, they play changes like mofos. guys are playing changes. It's their control over the harmony. It's their ability to play harmonic rhythm. This is an infinitely complex topic, and I understand that for a lot of you guys, you gotta probably think this is esoteric, because honestly, this is past advanced, right? This is mastery. This is like the mastery stuff. It's mentality, theory, integration, right? It's not chops, right? You can have any amount of chops and be able to play mastery if you understand chord changes, which is the crazy thing, which is why I have some students right here, shout out, Forrest, Cody, Nasir, Washington. These guys never played guitar before working with me. They took the approach of mastery mentality from the get-go, and I hate to break this to you, but they probably made more progress in 2 months than you made in your entire life, because they started with the approach of playing chord changes. They're reverse engineering that essential skill of mastery. Do you see how this is a completely different approach to learning guitar? Because you can learn mastery from the get-go. It's a mentality. Mastery is a mentality, and you don't need to practice 7 hours a day to unlock it. You just need to make sure that what you do practice is under the guiding principle of mastery mentality, which can be defined as the ability to play chord changes. And you reverse engineer that and encompass all of your technical development with theory and technique. You develop all of that according to the goal of chord changes. Now, this is where the Vcale shows up. The Vcale allows us to see which are the chord changes that we can start learning as pure beginners, right? Now you start to understand why Nasir and Forrest made so much progress in so little time. It's because they immediately started using this Vcale system. But you've probably never used it in your whole life. You probably tried to learn some standards and you're like, wow, are you kidding me? This is what we have to do? You didn't take the right steps. You gotta start at V0. Don't start at V3. Most people start at like V4, V5. They don't even know they're on this like grading system, right? You gotta start at V0. You need to understand the full and complete depth of V0 before even going to V1. And you realize that 96.3% of musicians never figure this out. Never figure it out! This is why I get so passionate about this, because I'm like, dude, I'm the only guy flying the flag right now here. Like mastery mentality, like hello, like we can see it when all of the different masters of guitar, they all have that one thing in common. They understand chord changes and they wield that knowledge with such creative genius from their own perspective, solving the unique problems that they are seeing in the music. Not all of us see the same problems. Hello, Vcale, Boulder, problems, solving problems, creating pathways. Now, the craziest thing about all of this is that when you begin to see all music, yeah, I'm talking from Animals as Leaders to Earth, Wind, and Fire. When you see all music, Tool to Meshuggah, all music, Cranberries to Megadeth, under the jazz standard framework, okay, where it's chord changes in support of a melody. All music ever written is broken down into that basic framework. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's like, what's in the real book? Those lead sheets are jazz standard framework. Every song ever boils down to jazz standard framework. Chord changes, moving through time to support a melody. Once you see all music in that framework, that's where the third eye is busted open. That's when you realize unlimited creative awareness. I could try to explain that right here in this video. I've already made a video about this. This video right here, watch this video if you want to know more about what I'm saying with infinite creativity glitch, cosmic musical enlightenment. That's this video. Check that out. Now, if you want to take decisive action on your future right here, right now, I have just the thing for you. It's the last guitar lesson you'll ever need. It's literally one single guitar lesson with me. It's recorded. I'm going to take you through my method. I'm going to enlighten you in that singular session. It's a transformation that you'll experience in one session. That's why we started doing the last lesson. It's because the fact is, people who work with me really only need one lesson to have the massive breakthrough. Once you have the breakthrough, well, you know, you're living in a new reality. You might want some help and support there, but cross that bridge when you get there, right? If you're ready to have your third eye open completely to limitless creative abundance, that's gonna be the last guitar lesson you ever need. Now that includes the entire Ultimate Jazz Blues Mastery course, which is 4.5 hours of deep, step-by-step, systematic content alchemically designed for you to take all of the steps that we learn in our one-on-one that's going to be recorded and integrate those into your own musical vocabulary so you can start making the music that you were born to make. Now, for those of you who are still watching and you're ready to get into the actual technical stuff, let me give you a lesson on the house right here, okay? So I'm going to teach you about harmonic rhythm. I'm going to open up your awareness to what you actually need to be practicing every day if you want to achieve mastery, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what that mentality is. This is just one iteration on an infinite number of possible iterations that exemplify the mentality of mastery as I've described that Eddie Van Halen and Joe Pass and Tosin Abasi and Django Reinhardt all have. 3 and 4 and up. Right, that's the harmonic rhythm. I just repeated it twice, okay? So it's a very short little repeat. You see those chords on the screen. Now you hear the harmonic rhythm, right? So now you've already cracked the ear training. You just heard it, right? Now what I need to do is play things that align to that harmonic rhythm. That's the only thing I need to do. Now we have a whole step-by-step process of determining what we can play through this form or any other form, right? This is pathway construction. This is everything in Intro to Fretboard Mastery. If you don't have Intro to Fretboard Mastery, then you got to get it right now. Intro to Fretboard Mastery is my free course. It's to contextualize everything that I'm saying. But essentially, I'm going to be using range-optimized pathways to outline this particular form. So for that D minor, what about some D minor? Right? That's a perfect one. It's got the open string. It's perfect. It's an obvious logical conclusion of fretboard mastery as applied to this chord progression. Because what's the next chord in the progression? D major. So all I have to do is change one note in that grip. There we go, right? What have I done? Voice leading, right? And look, the next chord, G minor. Look at this. Second inversion, right? 5-1, right? And that's all that I really need here. Now watch how I apply those pathways to this progression. 3 and 4 and you see that this is what every guitar master has in common? It's the ability to accurately move that harmony right on schedule. That's the control that you don't have in your playing currently. That's what's stopping you at advanced, right? Because you have advanced technique, you have advanced chops, knowledge, you've been playing probably 20 years, or in some cases 3 or 4 years. You all need this overhaul. If what I'm saying is resonating with you, I'm only speaking to you guys, you need this overhaul. It's the last lesson you'll ever need, not to say you won't want and understand why there are more lessons to be learned, but there's only one fundamental lesson. It's cracking the code to mastery mentality from day one. And if it's your day 10,000, still fine, it's never too late. Unfortunately, most guitarists die without figuring this whole V-scale concept, jazz mentality. They don't figure it out before they die. It's very sad. But that's all about to change. As you can see, the internet has given way to some of the best music education in all of history. I would say the most optimized, no surprises. And so right here, you're at the absolute cutting edge of music education. It's my YouTube channel. So if you've already done Intro to Fretboard Mastery, just get the last lesson you'll ever need. Remember, it includes 4.5 hours of bonus course material. Everything you need to actually ascend to the summit of Mount Everest, that's all gonna be found at mentalitymusic.com/last lesson. Now, I do have my in-person mastermind event coming up on October 4th. Tickets are more than halfway sold out, dude. They're more than halfway sold out, okay? So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I am probably gonna raise the ticket price maybe like one more time to really slow it down. I'm talking to you guys. You guys all belong there, okay? And I know you can afford it. Don't worry about that, right? I'm gonna take care of you. We're gonna cook for you. We've got meals. We've got campsites. You're gonna wanna bring your tent, although we do have some premium campsites where you actually don't need your tent. So there's a few levels to this. Of course, there's a parking lot for everyone, whether you're staying overnight or not. It's only an hour out of Portland, so a lot of people will probably stay around Portland anyway. An hour is nothing in Maine in autumn. You love it, you love it. So definitely for all locals, and that's mostly who I'm speaking to right here at this point in the video. But now I'll shift it over to my students. I know you guys have been watching for a long time. I wanted to make an offer that was completely affordable and I knew was the best value for everything considered, and that's why I made the last lesson. So I encourage you to just look at that website and tell me it's not the best idea I ever had, okay? Tell me in the comments if it's not the best idea I've ever had, okay? And we'll reply to every comment on this video, guaranteed. Your comment will probably likely be in my next video. High chance of that, especially if you're as creative as you have to be to watch this far into one of Blake Hawley, the Guitar Growth Hacker videos. Like, you are deep down the rabbit hole, son. And that's why you know I'm the only one who can help you. So, no, and it's okay, it's fine. I mean, I'm getting help, dude. I have a mentor right now. Whew, it's good stuff, it's good stuff, it's good stuff, good stuff. So now I say with even more conviction, one lesson is enough to change the game for you. That's true across the board. The radical perspective shift that we're all looking for is just a moment in time. Some people are very good at facilitating these. I've made it my entire profession to trigger that moment of enlightenment for people, and it really doesn't take more than one lesson. And then I have a whole 4.5 hour course to support you now that you have the moment of enlightenment that you were looking for. Now that you've busted open the infinite creativity glitch, because that's what I'm saying is you bust open that infinite creativity glitch and then you're like, wow, okay, wait. Okay, I need some like techniques here. Like, I'm gonna need to understand harmony to the fullest level. I'm gonna need to understand chord construction. I'm gonna need to understand harmonic sequencing. I'm gonna need to understand form. But once you understand how those things relate to your goal, that's when you have the motivation to actually go through a 4.5 hour course. But you gotta also have the faith that it's literally alchemically designed by steps and significant conceptual technique. Those 4.5 hours will be the best 4.5 hours you ever spend on your musical development. Like I said, mentalitymusic.com/last lesson. Look forward to seeing you on the call. Look forward to seeing you at the GSM Mastermind October 4th, Otisfield, Maine. You can get your tickets at mentalitymusic.com/GSM Mastermind. Like I said, we're gonna have food at the Mastermind. It's going to be the most beautiful fall immersion you could ever imagine. The music is so powerful. We've been crafting a set. We're building the bill. We've got other people involved in this now. We're gonna put quite a bill together. It's going to be an absolute spectacular evening of historic proportions. I'll see you guys all very soon.